What sparks fly when Hollywood's brightest black and white stars risk everything to love across the color line? Some of these marriages forge unbreakable legacies, while others detonated in spectacular, career-shaking heartbreak. Each story rips up the script on race, fame, and romance, serving twists you won't see coming. Smash like, hit subscribe, and buckle up as we unveil 32 unforgettable couples who prove love has no color code. Ellen Pompeo and Chris Ivory. A 2003 Los Angeles grocery line felt more sitcom than soulmate meet cute. White Bostonian actress Ellen Pompeo snagged the last Italian loaf. Black music producer Chris Ivory offered to split it. 12 months later, Grey's Anatomy premiered, catapulting Ellen into primetime immortality. Tabloids doubted she could juggle marriage with 14-hour surgery scenes, yet a secret New York City Hall wedding in 2007 gave them stealth power. Racist trolls questioned why TV's Dr. Meredith Grey chose a partner outside Hollywood's A-list. Ellen clapped back in interviews, crediting Chris for the confidence that let her negotiate a $20 million salary, then publicly thanked him on set, shattering pay gap ceilings. Chris, meanwhile, parlayed his TV show royalty access into a platinum remix of Cheers, Drink to That, reminding critics he wasn't riding coattails. 3 kids later, Ellen's 2023 exit from Grey's saw Chris off camera, guiding her production company, illustrating that a checkout line spark can bankroll a creative empire. Steve Nash and Brittney Richardson. Canadian NBA maestro Steve Nash met filmmaker Brittney Richardson in Manhattan Beach during a charity soccer game in 2010, both nursing heartbreaks, both gagging at celebrity scene phoniness. Paparazzi framed their interracial chemistry as a rebound narrative, but Brittney's insistence on private beach dates over red carpets kept gossip guessing. Post-retirement arthritis left Nash limping through TNT commentary. Brittney's documentaries on black surfers pulled him behind the lens as silent executive producer. When their 2022 Malibu elopement quietly hit Instagram, some fans grumbled the 2-time MVP had gone Hollywood soft. Yet Nash's pivot to Brooklyn Nets coaching proved sharper. He credited Brittney's editing advice for the locker room film breakdowns that stunned opponents. Her career soared. Netflix bought her surf series, while his coaching resume waxed and waned, underscoring how creative perspective, not just athletic grit, can redraw a playbook. Mike Nylin and Garcel Bove. Model-turned-actress Garcel Bove first dubbed her 2001 marriage to white talent agent Mike Nylin, like winning Powerball. Twin sons, LA sunsets, and his relentless hustling for black performers painted a poster of modern inclusion. But Hollywood has super zoom lenses. In 2010, Garcel found "I love you" texts from Mike to another woman. Her furious staff-wide email leaked, splashing infidelity across every trade paper. Garcel's NYPD blue gigs dried as producers whispered, "Too much baggage." Yet she flipped the narrative by co-hosting The Real and later Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, where candid talk about interracial betrayal became must-stream drama. Mike's client roster shrank. The couple co-parented quietly while tabloids chewed on the cliché. Their cautionary tale sharpened Hollywood's view of agency power imbalances and reminded viewers that a public meltdown can still fuel a renaissance. Chris Evans and Naomi Harris. Summer 2008. Comic-Con after party, San Diego. Rumor had it that dimpled Bostonian Chris Evans spent 2 hours in a corner booth with London-born Naomi Harris, fresh off her Quantum of Solace press tour. No photos, no quotes, just eyewitness tweets about whispered laughter. Blogs latched onto the interracial Captain America meets Moneypenny fantasy, sparking fanfic and Reddit wars. Studios panicked. Could Marvel's future stars survive crossover gossip so early? Agents staged nothing to see here denials. Career impact. Evans locked his Disney contract, zipped lips, and catapulted to global icon status. Harris shed Bond girl typecasting with Moonlight, nabbing an Oscar nod. Neither confirms nor denies the fling, yet that 180-minute mystery still pops up on SEO trackers. Proof a single rumor can permanently tether 2 filmographies and shape fandom discourse about black and white possibility. Ryan, Phillippe, and Rihanna. When paparazzi caught Ryan Phillippe sliding into Rihanna's post-Grammys SUV in 2011, headlines screamed, "Cruel Intentions meets R&B royalty." She was 23, fresh off Loud Tour exhaustion. He was 36, nursing a divorce from Reese Witherspoon. Insiders called it text flirtation, but the age gap interracial buzz supercharged both TMZ traffic and Ryan's indie film bargaining power. Rihanna weaponized the chatter, dropping cryptic Instagram captions that kept number RYRY trending. By spring, the vibe fizzled. Her talk that talk press sprint trumped casual dating, and his brooding shooter role in Shooter demanded bootcamp silence. Yet the fleeting liaison broadened Rihanna's bad gal canvas, while reminding casting directors that Phillippe still packed marquee curiosity. An 11-week rumor, now frozen in digital amber, illustrates how split-second proximity can recalibrate two divergent brands, Johnny Depp and Holly Robinson Peete. On the late 80s set of 21 Jump Street, rookie Johnny Depp and rising star Holly Robinson shared cafeteria fries and punk rock mixtapes. Chemistry crackled, but Holly's talent manager mother laid down iron rules. Never date a coworker. Hollywood loved the will they won't they tension. Fan letters begged for an off-screen match. Instead, they channeled sparks into on-screen banter, boosting ratings and catapulting Johnny toward heartthrob insanity. Holly's decisions safeguarded her career, while Depp ballooned into megastar status and later courtroom soap opera. She built a resume spanning sitcoms, talk show hosting, and autism advocacy. Their almost romance serves as a sliding door study. One parental boundary created two separate but formidable legacies, and showcased a rare moment where an interracial duo chose professionalism over gossip gold. Jacob Fishell and Routina Wesley. At Juilliard, shy white thespian Jacob Fishell routinely clashed with fierce black classmate Routina Wesley in scene study critiques. Think Oil and Wildfire. Debate evolved into empathy. They married in 2005, vowing to balance stagecraft with shared Sunday pancakes. Hollywood tested them. Routina's breakout as Tara in True Blood drenched her in fame, while Jacob chased indie plays. Gossip sites framed him as Mr. Wesley, implying race-powered status reversal. Rumors of jealousy brewed. The couple publicly insisted love trumped IMDb rankings. But conflicting coast moves, fertility stress, and industry pay gaps eroded their bond. Divorce in 2013 was quiet, yet Routina later said the split saved two careers that were drowning together. Indeed, she vaulted to Queen Sugar, while Jacob landed prestige off-Broadway roles free of fanboy noise. Their arc highlights the toll fame disparity can take, and the truth that sometimes distance revives artistry. Nick Collison and Robbie Heraford. NBA Iron Man Nick Collison met Kansas City schoolteacher Robbie Heraford long before Seattle drafted him in 2003. Marriage and baby Emma followed as the Supersonics morphed into the Oklahoma City Thunder. In a league thick with entourage culture, cameras adored Collison's mixed-race family seated courtside in modest cardigans. Conservative Oklahoma fans sent hate mail. Nick posted one letter on Instagram with the caption, "Love greater than laces." Robbie's quiet strength boosted his locker room respect. Kevin Durant once called her Team Mom. Post-retirement, Nick took a Thunder front office role. Robbie opened an urban literacy nonprofit, leveraging NBA alumni cash. Career impact? His jersey may never hang in rafters, but Collison became the blueprint for off-court leadership, thanks to a partner who turned heckles into homework funding. Emanuel Shereeb and Stacy Dash. When Maltese-American actor Emanuel Shereeb met clueless icon Stacy Dash in 2007, mutual friends predicted a chill indie film power couple. Early months glowed. Red carpet spins, shared Pilates, and talk of blended artistry. Behind closed doors, tempers rose. Police reports later cited alleged domestic abuse. Their 2011 divorce laid bare interracial stereotypes of the angry black actress and misunderstood white artist, intensifying media biases. Stacy's right-wing political turn further muddied perception. Was pain driving ideology, or vice versa? Emanuel faded to character roles. Stacy's Fox News stint eclipsed her acting credits. The marriage's implosion remains a raw example of how private violence can hijack public narrative and how race becomes ammunition in media crossfire. Steve Rifkin and Senna Lethan. Hip-hop impresario Steve Rifkin, Wu-Tang Clan's early shepherd, crossed paths with actress Senna Lethan at a 2009 BET after-party. Industry insiders kept the interracial pairing hush-hush, citing brand maintenance for both. He sold roughneck street cred. She marketed sophisticated black femininity. Late-night studio visits morphed into Hamptons hideaways, but Sana's camp feared misogyny backlash if she dated a rap label boss. When paparazzi finally scored a yacht kiss, blogs exploded. Some fans dubbed her sellout, others cheered the culture blend. Steve's loudest artists gained bigger sync deals as Sana coached him on film placements. Her rom-com roles got hip-hop soundtrack boosts. The romance fizzled in 2011, yet mutual boosters say each walked away richer in Rolodex power. Their discreet fling proves a synergy doesn't always need a spotlight. Sometimes it just needs mutual hustle. Maximleian Cooper and Eve. When British race rally tycoon Maximleian Cooper slid into rapper-actress Eve's DMs after spotting her at 2010's Gumball 3000 launch, skeptics tagged it a publicity stunt. But Eve, fresh from Grammy glory and still scarred by tabloid attacks over past relationships, took a leap, swapping backstage chaos for Maxim's 3,000-mile supercar odyssey. The sight of a black Philly rapper waving a checkered flag beside a white Oxford-bred millionaire split the internet. Some cheered the culture mashup, others barked she'd sold out. Eve's response? A wedding at an Ibiza fortress in 2014, guests dressed like Bond villains under fireworks. Music blogs worried marriage would dim her edge. Instead, she landed the talk co-host chair, launching frank discussions on interracial love. Maxim, forever in overdrive, rebranded Gumball with Eve headlining charity grants that fund STEM programs for girls of color. When their rainbow baby Wild was born after IVF struggles, the couple live-streamed a tender toast, vintage champagne for him, sparkling cider for her, silencing trolls with pure, raucous joy. One rapper lyricized it best. She took the wheel, he hit the gas, now the world just tries to catch their draft. Vladislav Doronin and Naomi Campbell. Russian real estate titan Vladislav Doronin first spotted Naomi Campbell in 2008 at Cannes, her silhouette mirrored in the Mediterranean. He chartered a helicopter that night just to join her after-party, an entrance worthy of a supermodel nicknamed Hurricane Naomi. Within weeks, he whisked her to his spaceship eco-mansion outside Moscow, a Zaha Hadid design that looked straight out of Black Panther. Business journals sniffed arm candy optics, but Naomi flipped the script. She dragged Vlad into charity galas for African war orphans and rebuilt a Haiti school with his steel profits. Paparazzi devoured their yacht summers. Her bronze limbs on his stark white decks became Tumblr wallpaper, yet whispers of clashing tempers trailed them. In 2013, they split, tabloids blaming distance and Doronin's unfinished divorce. Both careers, however, roared on. Naomi landed Empire in American Horror Story, proving ageism wrong. Vlad snagged a Beijing megadevelopment, citing her discipline as inspiration. Their 5-year blaze showed that love can be an unlikely corporate merger, volatile, headline-hungry, yet undeniably transformational. Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg. Before social media outrage came fax machine fury, and Ted Danson's 1993 Friars Club roast of girlfriend Whoopi Goldberg triggered plenty. After meeting on the Made in America set, the TV sitcom king and EGOT-aspiring comedian slipped from co-stars to soulmates, bonding over environmental activism and late-night pie. Ted's marriage collapsed in the spotlight. Whoopi, already thrice divorced, joked she was allergic to matrimony. Their interracial pairing, both over 40, both comedic royalty, wasn't the controversy. It was Danson's ill-fated blackface gag. Co-written, yes, co-written, by Whoopi to roast racism itself. The joke bombed, headlines screamed, and the romance buckled under pressure. Career fallout? Ted rebounded with Becker and decades of climate work. Whoopi snagged an Oscar hosting gig and eventually The View. The affair lasted barely 18 months, but it bulldozed Hollywood's comfort zone, forcing a national conversation about race, satire, and how thin the line is between edgy and incendiary. Mick Jagger and Marsha Hunt. London, 1969. Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger wandered into the musical Hair and locked eyes with African-American singer-actress Marsha Hunt, a gaze she later described as predatory and poetic. Their affair was clandestine, complicated by Jagger's steady girlfriend and the band's drug-fueled chaos. Marsha refused to become another groupie headline. Instead, she wielded her intellect, schooling Mick on Black history while touring Europe's radical bookstores. 9 months later, daughter Karis was born in secrecy. Mick denied paternity until a court-ordered blood test, fueling Daily Mail venom. Marsha's influence, however, burned into vinyl. Brown Sugar, with its slave ship imagery and ribald swagger, echoed their taboo attraction. Critics now debate the song's racial politics, but its riff immortalized Hunt's imprint. Career-wise, Marsha retreated to novel writing in France. Jagger kept strutting stadiums, yet conceded in interviews that she opened my lyrical eyes. Their whirlwind proves muses can be more than inspiration. They can be mirrors that rock stars dread. Boris Becker and Barbara Becker. At 25, Wimbledon legend Boris Becker smashed records. At 26, he smashed expectations by marrying German-American designer Barbara Feltus in a candlelit Miami ceremony, 1993. German tabloids erupted. Interracial unions were still rare in their reunified homeland. Barbara posed nude with Boris for the cover of Stern magazine, defying racist backlash with a single, stunning image of black and white bodies entwined. During their 8-year marriage, Barbara's athletic wear lines exploded across Europe, galvanized by Boris's courtside endorsements. Meanwhile, his game faltered. Critics blamed family distractions, but Boris credited fatherhood with humanizing the machine. Their split in 2001 was messy. Remember that broom closet liaison? Yet Barbara emerged as a Miami real estate mogul, while Boris reinvented himself as a BBC analyst, until legal woes landed him in a UK cell. Still, their nude manifesto remains a cultural serve heard round the world. Richard Rudolph and Minnie Riperton. Chicago's 1970s soul scene birthed a fairy tale. Genius songwriter Richard Rudolph fell for soprano Minnie Riperton, whose whistle register could shatter glass and prejudice alike. Producers doubted audiences would buy a mixed duo, but Richard co-penned Lovin' You as a lullaby for their baby Maya. Yes, future SNL alum Maya Rudolph. The 1975 single hit number won its birdsong outro, framing Minnie's honeyed do-do-do-do. Fame surged even as Minnie secretly battled breast cancer. Richard, equal parts husband and producer, wrapped recording cables around hospital V's so she could keep creating. She died in 1979 at 31, leaving Richard widowed with 2 children and a catalog of eternal sunshine. Instead of retreating, he shepherded Minnie's masters, mentored black artists, and ensured her royalties funded cancer research. Their love, brief yet blinding, remains proof that interracial harmony can literally rewrite the American songbook. Bruce Sudano and Donna Summer. When Brooklyn songwriter Bruce Sudano co-wrote Take It to the Zoo for Donna Summer in 1977, he expected a one-off credit, not a lifetime backstage pass. Donna, the Black Queen of Disco, saw in Bruce an Italo-American lyricist who spoke fluent funk. They married in 1980 at their Pacific Palisades mansion, amid plumes of pink bougainvillea. Critics feared marriage would tame Donna's sultry image. Instead, Bruce penned Bad Girls and On the Radio, multiplying her chart reign. As disco collapsed under a racist, homophobic backlash, the pair pivoted, Donna to gospel-tinged pop, Bruce to Nashville storytelling, proving adaptability beats genre pigeonholes. Their faith-anchored bond weathered Donna's 2012 cancer passing. Bruce still tours small clubs, dedicating Hot Stuff to the woman who set his life ablaze and never burned out, Tim Leisner and Kimora Lee Simmons. Wall Street wonder kid Tim Leisner conquered Southeast Asian banking before crossing paths with former supermodel-turned-baby-fat CEO Kimora Lee Simmons. A 2013 Saint-Tropez yacht party sealed their fate. champagne, spreadsheets, and runway jokes at dawn. The secret marriage surfaced only after Tim tattooed Kimura's initials down his spine. But behind the glamour loomed scandal. Leisner's role in the 1MDB money laundering scheme. As indictments flew, Kimura reactivated her dormant fashion empire, modeling resilience for their blended family of 5. She stood by him in court, yet launched a scholarship fund for Southeast Asian women, her subtle rebuke to corruption. Tim pled guilty in 2022. Sentencing lingers like a guillotine. But Kimura's brand sales have doubled, fueled by TikTokers hashtagging #JohnDerideOrty. Their saga asks, can couture stitches mend white-collar sins? Stay tuned. Bret the Hitman Hart and Stephanie Washington, pro wrestling icon. Bret Hart met Californian waitress Stephanie Washington in 2008 while autograph signing at a San Francisco bar. 26 years his junior, Stephanie had never watched WrestleMania. Bret found the ignorance refreshing. Their 2010 mountaintop wedding irked die-hard fans who still shipped him with ex-wife Julie, matriarch of the revered Hart dynasty. Stephanie endured online racial slurs and claimed she was after Bret's legacy. She responded by spearheading the Hitman Foundation, gifting concussion imaging tech to youth leagues. Yes, the same injury that nearly ended Bret's career. In turn, he survived prostate cancer with her at bedside, crediting Steph's green juice tyranny. Though Bret's Hall of Fame speeches now wobble with age, Stephanie stands center stage, proving that sometimes the real championship belt is forged in quiet caretaking rather than pyrotechnics. Dolph Lundgren and Grace Jones. Mid-80s New York, Swedish karate champion Dolph Lundgren moonlighted as security for club goddess Grace Jones, 6-foot Jamaican icon of androgyny. Within weeks, she promoted him from bodyguard to boyfriend and sculpted his public persona with runway walks and latex couture. A shared Playboy spread in 1985 catapulted Dolph into casting rooms. Soon he was Ivan Drago in Rocky IV, his stone face hiding lessons learned from Grace about shape-shifting identity. Industry insiders dismissed him as her accessory, but Lundgren parlayed that accessory status into a 3-decade action career. Grace, forever the avant-pop shapeshifter, called their breakup amicable warfare. Their tango teaches, behind every overnight success stands a partner who recodes the mainframe, Heather Headley and Brian Musso. During a dizzy orientation week at Northwestern University, Trinidad-born vocal powerhouse Heather Headley argued with football wide receiver Brian Musso over cafeteria reggae versus country playlists. The debate simmered into flirtation, maturing through graduations, NFL drafts, and Tony Awards. They married in 2003, right after Heather's A to Tony win and Brian's career-halting ankle injury. Sports pundits framed him as the retiring jock, riding her coattails, unseeing the fact he was architecting her tour logistics like a playbook. When Heather paused her Lion King vocal cameo to birth their 3 children, yes, she recorded Circle of Life lullabies from a hospital bed. Brian shifted to wealth management, building generational security. In 2020, Heather headlined Netflix's Sweet Magnolias, citing Brian's midnight line readings as secret sauce. Their campus crush-to-power couple arc shows that when careers zigzag, love can run the perfect crossing route. Alexis Ohanian and Serena Williams. When Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian wandered into that quiet Roman hotel cafe in 2015, he knew nothing about tennis, and even less about the woman who dominated it for 2 decades. Serena Williams spotted the lanky tech mogul, cracked a joke about rats the size of dogs, and the ice shattered. Their relationship unfolded in full glare. Paparazzi at the French Open, an engagement on the same clay grounds where Serena once lifted the trophy, and a New Orleans wedding where Beyoncé danced down the aisle. Critics muttered that the greatest of all time would lose focus. Instead, she won a Grand Slam while pregnant. Alexis, meanwhile, stepped back from Reddit's board to raise Olympia and cheer from the players' box. A loud rebuke to Silicon Valley's work till you drop mantra. Together, they crafted a blueprint for millennial marriage, public love, private teamwork, and a refusal to let race, power, or billion-dollar valuations dictate who leads the dance. George Lucas and Melody Hobson. Before Melody Hobson entered Skywalker Ranch, George Lucas was nursing a post-Star Wars solitude, tinkering with digital cameras and philanthropy. Hobson, Princeton grad, Ariel Investments president, and one of the most influential black executives on Wall Street, arrived for a business meeting and ignited a new hope. Dinner at Chicago's Everest, quiet yacht trips, then a 2013 California wedding witnessed by Spielberg and Oprah. Critics called George out of touch for selling Lucasfilm to Disney. Melody coached him through the $4 billion handoff, then helped channel the windfall into education and social justice causes. Hollywood whispered that she'd steer his legacy. Instead, she amplified it, convincing Lucas to break ground on the $1 billion LA Narrative Arts Museum after years of red tape. Their union fused two galaxies, blockbuster storytelling and uncompromising boardroom clout, proving love can be both a fairy tale and a fierce merger. Joshua Jackson and Jodie Turner-Smith. When British model-turned-actress Jodie Turner-Smith met former teen heartthrob Joshua Jackson at Usher's birthday party in 2018, tabloids brushed it off as a fling. But Vegas vows, a Malibu home birth, and synchronized Gucci looks at the Met Gala told a deeper story. Online trolls targeted their reversed racial norm. She's black, he's white Canadian, but the pair clapped back with humor and thicker skin. Joshua reinvented himself on Dr. Death, just as Jodie shattered period drama barriers in Anne Boleyn. Hollywood casting agents asked if motherhood would slow her ascent. She landed 3 features in a year. Meanwhile, Joshua, once pigeonholed as Pacey Witter, proved he could play a sociopathic surgeon with Emmy-level menace. Their partnership illustrates how mutual cheerleading, not competition, can catapult 2 careers at once. Tay Diggs and Adena Menzel. They belted opposite each other on Broadway's Rent in 1995, singing about bohemian love while living it backstage. Tay Diggs' smooth baritone and Adena Menzel's sky-high belt meshed into a romance that weathered Oscar parties and suburban school runs. After their 2003 wedding, critics wondered if Hollywood was ready for an A-list black leading man married to a Jewish vocal powerhouse. Tay snagged private practice, Adena voiced Disney's Ice Queen Elsa, and their son Walker became the bridge between. Yet the same spotlight that magnified their triumphs also exposed the strain. Tour schedules, paparazzi chatter, online nastiness. Their 2014 split was painfully public, but both later admitted the marriage trained them to handle superstardom's glare. Even apart, they remain proof that interracial love can seed 2 blockbuster careers and inspire an anthem, Let It Go, that defined a generation. David Bowie and Iman. He was glam rock personified. She'd already conquered every runway from Paris to Lagos. When David Bowie locked eyes with Somali-born supermodel Iman on a blind date in 1990, he told friends, "I knew my wife the moment I saw her." Press painted them as opposites, alien rock god and poised humanitarian. But privately, they were morning coffee nerds debating art. Bowie's 1990s albums, Outside Earthling, dripped with the world beat influences Iman introduced, while her cosmetics line for women of color gained instant credibility from his business advice. Some fashion editors whispered she'd retired too soon for marriage, until Iman expanded into global philanthropy, proving you can be muse and mogul. Bowie's death in 2016 cast a long shadow, yet their 26-year union remains a celestial map for how interracial love can be fiercely private, wildly creative, and eternally chic. Robin Thicke and Paula Patton. Grade school sweethearts at LA's University High. Robin Thicke, son of sitcom star Alan, and biracial actress Paula Patton grew up trading mixtapes and ambitions. His soulful falsetto scored her audition monologues. Her early film checks funded his demo tapes. When 2013's Blurred Lines exploded, Robin invited Paula on stage nightly, flaunting a love story 17 years in the making. Then came the lawsuits, the Miley Cyrus VMA twerk, and whispers of infidelity. Paula's breakout in Mission Impossible. Ghost Protocol got drowned out by tabloid sirens. Their 2014 separation left Robin scrambling through apology albums, while Paula fought to show casting directors she was more than a headline. Though the marriage ended, each acknowledges the other as co-architect of their fame. Their cautionary tale, Fame's floodlights can illuminate devotion or burn it to ash. Robert De Niro and Grace Hightower. When a soft-spoken Mississippi flight attendant served Robert De Niro coffee at Mr. Chow's in 1987, she didn't recognize the two-time Oscar winner. De Niro, fresh off Raging Bull, pursued her with the stealth of an undercover cop, proposing a decade later. Their 1997 vows, with Billy Crystal joking as MC, signaled a new chapter for an actor long associated with Italian-American machismo. Grace launched a global coffee company benefiting Rwandan farmers. Robert invested in Tribeca's revival post 9/11. Hollywood insiders whispered their 2018 split would tarnish his elder statesman legacy. Instead, De Niro stunned critics with The Irishman and welcomed a new baby while praising Grace's warrior heart. Their partnership reminds us that longevity in interracial love, like acting, demands constant rehearsal and sometimes a rewrite. Olivier Martinez and Halle Berry. They met filming Dark Tide on South Africa's shark-infested coast in 2010, an omen of the stormy seas ahead. Oscar winner Halle Berry found in Olivier Martinez a French actor unafraid of her megawatt fame. He found a partner battle-tested by paparazzi and custody wars. Their 2013 chateau-style wedding in the French countryside felt like a fairy tale reset. Yet conflicting shoots, tabloid brawls with Berry's ex, and immigration debates over their son Maceo turned romance into front-page fodder. By 2015, they divorced, prompting think pieces about interracial unions under siege. Career impact? Berry pivoted to directing Bruised, channeling heartache into art, while Martinez retreated to European cinema. Their brief blaze proved two things. Love can bridge continents, and Hollywood still feasts on a black-and-white power couple's implosion, Robert Pattinson and FKA Twigs. Fresh off Twilight hysteria, Robert Pattinson sought anonymity in London dive bars where avant-pop singer FKA Twigs performed. Drawn to her hypnotic choreography, he swapped blockbuster after-parties for cramped studios thick with incense. Engagement followed in 2015, but racist trolls flooded Twigs' socials, calling her monkey and ugly. Pattinson, shackled by franchise contracts, kept silent too long. Twigs later confessed the hate broke my body. He retreated to art house films. Good time. She released the cathartic album Magdalene. Though they never married, their relationship cracked open a conversation about fandom racism and the cost of loving across color lines in the digital age. Both artists emerged raw but reimagined. He as the Batman, she as a Grammy-nominated Phoenix. Marco Perego Saldana and Zoe Saldana. Italian painter Marco Perego met Dominican-Puerto Rican actress Zoe Saldana on a New York flight, sketching her in a napkin margin before takeoff. 6 months later, they would secretly in London, and Marco took her surname, an act that sent conservative talk shows into meltdown. Within a year, the Perego Saldanas welcomed twin boys and later a third son, raising them bilingual under a house rule. No gender stereotypes. Hollywood agents fretted Zoe's Marvel schedules would conflict with maternity. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 grossed $863 million. Marco's murals of Afro-Latina heroines began popping up in MoMA PS1 pop-ups, his career reborn. Their egalitarian branding rewired the conversation on masculinity, proving a surname can be a love song and a declaration of cultural fusion. Ron Perlman and Opal Stone. Long before he roared as Hellboy, Ron Perlman was a shy theater kid who stumbled into a New York boutique and asked jewelry designer Opal Stone for advice on cufflinks. She teased him about his clumsy fingers. He bought every pair. The two married in 1981, a rarity when interracial unions still faced whispered disapproval in casting rooms. Opal designed statement pieces for Beyoncé, while Ron's monster makeup hours stretched past midnight. She left love notes in his trailer sink, reminding him to moisturize. Hollywood typecast him as beasts and bikers, yet Opal's quiet elegance softened his public image. Red carpet photos of them hand in hand became memes titled, "Beauty and the Beast Done Right." When the couple separated after 35 years, fans mourned like a long-running series cancellation. Their saga underscores how off-screen devotion can polish even the roughest on-screen anti-hero. 32 stories, some soaring, some scorched, yet every couple dared to color outside Hollywood's rigid lines. They proved love can be contract, catalyst, cautionary tale, or career turbocharger, but never boring. Which pairing stunned you most? Drop their names below, smash like, and share this saga with a friend who still thinks Tinseltown plays safe. See you in the next deep dive. Until then, keep rewriting the script on what love should look like.